Hi. Are we in? We're live? Okay, we're in. What is that? It doesn't matter. Hi, welcome to The Theory Begins. My name is Charlie. Welcome. I didn't get the cards ready this time. I was thinking about this reading today and what the title would be. And I got the impression it would be about healthy authority. I feel like this is going to feed into the last few readings. There definitely seems to be a running narrative of self-progression going on. Let's pull some cards, I guess. They're here. Let's see. Let's see. Hello. All right. Okay. So 2 pages. You're after something. You're pursuing ideas that you have not pursued before, and you're coming from a space that you haven't pursued before. Okay. So in the last reading, I briefly spoke about I need to figure out where I'm looking in these videos. It's really weird. Okay. Not up there. There? Yeah, maybe there. Sorry. Hold on. Talk. Lock the fuck in, babe. Okay. You have the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So, new intention, new energy. Even if this is something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, you're still approaching this intention as I'm going to dream. I'm going to go for the maximum of what I want. If I'm going to achieve something that feels impossible anyway, I might as well go for the whole hog. Do you know what I mean? But the energy that you're bringing to the table, it's not desperation. It's not out of self-destruction. It's not out of self-loathing. You're coming from this from a completely fresh slate of, I know I have the power to achieve. I know I have the power to manifest. I know I have the power to learn and grow and thrive. And I maybe don't have the evidence right now to support that I'm capable of doing these things at the capacity I intend to do them, but I am capable of learning that. And so I'm going to. Let's go. Okay, so that's how it feeds into. I'm still playing with the lights. I'm so sorry. That's how it feeds into the healthy authority thing. You've understood that you are creating your reality at more times. And what's interesting in both of these cards, fucking the Empress is here again. And not with the same cards. I've shuffled these quite well. You can hear me shuffling under the table. You're really pursuing your personal abundance, right? I think you've done a lot of work internally in both of these cards, right? There we go. The page themselves is obviously the smaller one. But you see like the spirit connection in, oh my gosh, it's inverted. I'm finding it really hard to, there we go. So there is a learning being shared, and both points are coming through the third eye. So you have learned how to use your intuition. You know how to intuit which thoughts are the highest pathway thoughts and which thoughts are not, and also which emotions are the highest pathway emotions. Because can you see in this card, the knowledge is flowing through the third eye, and then it's coming out through the arrow. You can't see it that well in the video, but there's another kind of shimmer from the arrow towards the goal. So now you're really learning how to, you're really learning how to set your intentions and how to keep your mind focused on those intentions in a healthy way. It's all on the goal. It's all on the goal, but it's coming in a healthy way. There is a bird here. It looks like a phoenix as well that is emerging sort of from the tip of the arrow. So you're accepting that you're about to go through a transformation. I'm just getting the sense of this very calm openness. You know, you are now willing to deal with anything it takes. Anything it takes, but you're not committing your energy to anything that isn't actually on the right track. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you have all kinds of thoughts coming in at all points in every day. We're humans. That's how it goes, especially if you spend a lot of time on social media, which I do. You can find that sort of thing cycling if your stress is severe and maybe you need to like plan something and maybe you're trying to understand why you think and behave a certain way and it's all this energy back here. You're just learning how to keep your mind in almost like a central position. The first reading I did on here, I think, was actually a lot about knowing how to align your mind and your heart so that the two are now one focused channel and they can work together. Do you know what I mean? And in the same, sorry, I've just noticed, you see that hand? It's like a spirit hand here. It's coming in through the crown, but there's a hand. You have some sort of support on the other side. There's someone on the flip side who is helping you to do this and supporting you to do this. It's kind of like, I get the impression that when it's time to go, you'll really feel the push, and when there's things you need to hold back from, you'll really feel the pull. It's not like someone's got you on reins, but you have like a steady hand on your shoulder that's gonna guide you, if you will. So yeah. The other one is this spirit line comes again through the crown, and then using that connection, it flows through your heart and then into something material, right? Be careful with that though. You need to make sure you know what you're listening to, and you need to trust your instinct on that. Because obviously everything can chatter, especially if you're someone that's sensitive and you're able to pick up on etheric beings in the same way that they're just as diverse. The etheric beings are just as diverse as the people on Earth, if not more so. Not everything that speaks to you has a good intention for you, so you need to really hone in on whether or not this is something positive speaking to you. But I do get the impression this is something that you've already dealt with before. Just watch, right? And the thing I hear is just stay grounded. You see, they're both actually kneeling on the floor. They're in their feelings, but they're still kneeling, so they're still grounded and connected to reality. When you come to talking about etheric beings, as I'm calling them, this is my opinion. But oftentimes when we talk about, I'm channeling aliens and I'm channeling fucking Cleopatra and I'm channeling the Arcturians and I'm channeling from, fuck off. Literally, if it's not grounded in, that was too strong, sorry. No judgment, no shame. I understand that social media pushes a lot of programs and that many spiritual people are kind of conditioned to want to be the most high and have the most special connection. I think some of it leaves you very vulnerable and in a place of ego, and it makes people prone to misinterpreting where the messages might actually be coming from and the genuine intention of the things delivering those messages. as a caveat. So it's not that something's going to be whispering in your ear and telling you what to do and how not to do it. It's not that sort of teacher. Think more of, how do I put it? You've been given, well, you've always had the authority over your journey, right? And over your path. You've always had the authority, and now that you're really wanting to go in a specific direction, you're going to get to points in the level, if you will. You're going to get to points in the level where something's just going to give you a hint. Do you know what I mean? If you stand if you stand in one spot for long enough to go, no, actually, I'm not sure, something is going to give you a hint, but nothing is going to kind of breadcrumb you along the way. I don't know if that's a clear way of putting it. My point basically is always regard like clairvoyant messages and intuitive messages, always regard them with curiosity. Don't be too quick to cling on to those things as if they're truth, because you don't always know where they're coming from. Discernment, basically. Use your discernment. And if you get that feeling of like, that doesn't feel right, listen to that. Listen to that. Your inner compass, your soul is never going to lie to you. It's not capable of that. Where other things can, and they can make things sound very convincing. They've had a lot of practice. They've had a lot of time to practice. Regardless, I'm not getting into that all the way. I don't want to get derailed by precautionary measures. That's not what this is about. This is about kind of like open world exploration. Oh my gosh. I keep getting the thoughts of like, and the analogies. I keep getting the urge to use like video games as an analogy. You know how some are very, they're not open world. They're like, take this step, press this button to do this thing, now follow this path. It's very, very guided. That's not really the pathway this is. This is very open world. This is giving Minecraft. Do you know what I mean? If you have the intention to go and build an underwater fortress, it's kind of like a friend sat in the corner is going to Google things and be like, you might need this. But they're not going to tell you, okay, you need to go here. You're gonna get this and you're gonna get that. But if you get truly stuck and you're like, I don't know how to get all the fucking water out of my underground fortress, it's like, well, you are gonna need to defeat an underwater guardian in an ocean temple. I don't know these things. I don't play Minecraft. I do play Minecraft. Do you know what I mean? But the hints will be much more subtle. This is very open world, right? So if you change your intention, if your energy becomes erratic, I'm not going to say unstable because there's a shifting happening and you are going to fluctuate, but if you become erratic and your intention changes, the whole fucking thing is going to fall apart. Oh my god, that's a fucking huge moth. Whoa. Oh no, sir, I do not like that. Excuse me, sir. Oh my god, it's massive. Can you fuck off, maybe? I need to close my window. You're going to want my light as well, and that's really close to me. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Let's just keep going for now. Maybe it's... Oh, no, sir. Sir, I need a cup. Oh, no, sir. Sir, you are going to hurt yourself. Sir? Oh, you're near the light now? You're just going to chill? Can we chill? Can we chill? What do I have? I'm getting derailed by a moth. It's true, I'll admit, this cup is kind of too big. There's nothing in it. It's clean. Oh, sir. I'm not getting derailed by a fucking moth right now. Bear with me. Worse things have happened in these live streams. Okay, so we are all gonna stay nice and calm. Okay, I don't want to hurt you. I don't know that you have the capacity to hurt me. You can just scare me a lot. Okay, the stage is set. We are going to catch the moth. I had to move some things. I have a moth. He's in a cup. We have neutralized the threat. Fantastic. Okay. I'm putting something on top of that. Fuck that. Oh, that fucking blocks my light. Okay, well, he can breathe. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. I have not killed the animal. He's good. He is a big moth. I tell you that now. I tell you that for nothing. Jesus. Let me shut that window. Oakley Berkeley. All right, let's stop fucking around. Actually, if we're talking about being careful of what you're listening to in terms of like intuitive messages and how that you could be destabilized past the point of successful manifestation, that actually could feed into it. You know, I'm pretty close to a window, and all the other lights in my house and on mostly my street, everything I can see outside is just darkness. So I have the brightest light in the surrounding area, and there are things that are going to want that. There are things that are going to want that. And once you start shining, you are going to attract those things. It's a natural process. It's literally like a moth to a light bulb. They can't help it. But I said something very interesting during that, which is, I'm scared of you, but I don't think you can actually hurt me, right? And there are many things on the flip side, I'll call it. It's kind of the same. They could hurt you, but they need your permission to enter. Do you know what I mean? They need permission to enter your space, your physical space. They need permission to enter, even if it's passive permission. They need permission to enter your energetic space, your field. So you have to use your discernment, or you end up leaving the windows open. Do you know what I mean? And it's very natural that once you start shining, things like this will happen. I'm not looking to scare people. It's just a fact. Especially if you know yourself, and you know yourself well, and you know your process well, you will spot that kind of bullshit from a mile away, and the only thing that you need to do is look at the entry point and shut it. Do you know what I mean? So if you have a tendency, when you're very stressed, to start talking down to yourself and to start belittling yourself, that can be used. So you need to have the fortitude to say, this isn't an acceptable way to treat myself anymore. This is not beneficial for me or my process. the cycle that I'm currently in has really shown me that, oh, hello, more often than not, oh, see, the devil. With the Seven of Swords, right? Temperance. We'll pull some more cards. The process that I've currently been in has shown me that I have the tendency to move from the intention. Oh no, sorry. I have the right intention, but I move with the energy of like self-loathing or shame. For me, it's usually what it is, but I guess it gets fed by self-loathing, and because of that it makes me unstable, because as soon as I'm doing well and flourishing, I then have a truth that I hold about myself that's being burnt away, and you feel like you're losing part of yourself, and it's frightening. And then you just kind of have to make a choice. Really wigs me out when people come in and out of the live stream. Like, someone was in for a second just then. You might have seen me like take a huge breath. I'm not used to it yet. I panic when people come here. I want to be talking to someone, but it still frightens me. So what came out was the Devil, the Seven of Swords, Temperance, and the Knight of Swords. So this is a bit of a mental game. The devil, I don't get the impression it's like the actual devil and again demons and all the whatnot. I don't get the impression of that. I think it's the way that you treat yourself, the way you think about yourself, and the way that you use those thoughts to motivate yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything comes from a place of self-abnegation, and you can't truly shine if you're coming from a place of self-abnegation. Maybe you can if you're a bright enough light, but you cannot shine to your full potential because you're trying to shine through a darkened facet. Do you know what I mean? It's not to say that hasn't been part of your journey. It doesn't mean anything bad about you if that is actually true. It's not like, I knew I shouldn't have been doing that. I'm stupid. Like, no, that's the point. We don't do that. It's like, So I need to learn how to regard myself with some respect, with some appreciation. And you are deserving of that. But the impression I'm getting from the rest of these cards is that it really wigs me out when people come in. I don't like speaking in front of other people, man. I really don't like it. I don't like being seen. I'm only just now seeing myself. I feel raw. I don't like it when other people can do it. I will continue in a second. I just need a sec. Hold on. Okay. When we are looking at self-improvement, so often we just want to be transformed. We don't want to be transforming. We just want it to be done. And that could knock you off of kilter here, because temperance is here, and that is about patience and grace and understanding and process. Absolutely, it is about process. You can see her kind of pouring water between two vessels, and I get the sense that she's cleaning them, but you're using a fresh sauce to clean. I forgot there was a moth under that cup. I was about to move it. Don't do that. You've got a clean cup and you have a dirty cup, and you're trying to wash them out. Do you know what I mean? But eventually they'll just both be fucking dirty if you do that. You have to entirely toss everything, and it goes from one cup and tossed, one cup and tossed, because if not, you'll dirty them both. Do you know what I mean? So you are in the process of getting into this new embodiment, and there's processes that have kind of, that's a mad way to think. Okay, in viewing yourself in a way that is derogatory, you've almost dirtied yourself for yourself. So what you are now doing is using this fresh energy and this fresh intention to renew yourself. This is what it is. You're renewing yourself, but you have to continuously do it from the fresh place. And if you find yourself starting to move into the habitual way of thinking and feeling and processing, all you need to do is just slow yourself right down and move back into that other embodiment intentionally. Right? That's all it is. This is a really weird process, because I think that the trick is, if the faster you try and move, the more difficult it's going to be to catch yourself out, because you won't be moving intentionally, you'll be moving automatically, right? Oy. All right, I want to close this out. I need to pour resin. And I need to figure out how the fuck I'm going to deal with this moth. And I do also need to figure out more of my aversion to people coming on the live streams. I think it's happened 3 times now. People come on and I cramp up. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. I know it's not helpful to affirm that, but that is the reality of the situation. I feel watched because I am being watched. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be watched. But when it actually happens, it's really uncomfortable because it's really unfamiliar. And I would like to control how people perceive me, and I can't. I have to be okay with that. Maybe that's a good question. I know what I want out of the process that I'm undertaking. I know what external things I would like to receive, but I wonder what I would like from myself in this process. The immediate thought is like, I want unwavering commitment, and I want... No, that's it. It's fucking really kind of all out of duty at the moment. Because I feel like I have to, you know. I hope it brings me peace. And I hope it brings me a new appreciation for myself. And yeah, it will bring me a new version of myself. I just hope she's happy. And hope she can recognize herself better. All right, fuck it. Let's close this out. Let's do it. Boom. All right, let's put it this way. I'm gonna have to reshuffle. What is the strength in this situation? The challenge. The strength, the challenge, the hint. Jesus, okay. Fuck you. The devil's back again. He's not on the table, but he's well. You watch him. You watch him. All right, your strength. Your strength is your passion. All right. Your strength is that commitment. It is that fire. You know, it is a connection to yourself that is still in alignment with your spirit. So it's when you can do mind, body, spirit, and move with all of them. You see how there's not a teacher in this one? This is another page, right? But he is connected, or she, I don't care. Maybe she actually. She is connected to her roots, her palms. It clips the top of her head, and then there's a crane or a heron in the background. So it's all very internal, but it's stable. She's balancing. So your strength is your connection to self. All the answers are going to be right there within you. The challenge actually is the magician. So the challenge is getting the impression it's recognizing the harmony between things, and when you're forcing, it's not going to work. It is simply not going to work. You can move forwards without forcing. The hint was actually the Wheel of Fortune, so it's two major arcana. The challenge and the hint are both. You are capable of having limitless potential, right? You are capable of bringing in exactly what you want. You can pull from all these resources. That's the fucking word on the card, actually, weirdly. You can pull from all these resources and just take the aspects of your emotions, your thoughts, your physical surroundings, your passions, your spirit. Take what you need in order to shape what you are trying to weave, and then you can weave anything. To put it bluntly, if you fuck this up, you are still going to weave something. No matter what happens, you are going to weave the next steps. You are going to weave the future of your situation. That's not in question, right? You are going to weave a future for yourself. You are going to weave the next reality. What you weave is entirely up to you, right? So she seems very serene, very at peace, very graceful. That is the way that you are being asked to move. And the more you that's very vivid. The more you try and bite and tear and shake about and force it to happen, you will get brutality as a result. Do you know what I mean? It's not an easy venture. It's not an easy venture. It wasn't meant to be easy, technically speaking. From the starting point, with, the programming and the whatnot, it's not meant to be an easy thing to do, but it is still doable and you can learn. And I feel like you're open to that, which is great. So I'm going to leave this one here. You got the High Priestess and the Star on the deck. So you are, no matter how this goes, you are following your highest path. You probably are doing it blind, but you are not doing it alone. I have no idea how to end these videos. I'm just gonna go. Thank you. If you listen to this, thank you. I hope you could take something helpful from it. If you didn't and you hate it, you were here for like 35 minutes. That's crazy. Thank you for joining me, and I might see you tomorrow.